Hi, I'm Nick. It's that time of year again where the garden's still fairly vibrant. I can hear birds tweeting in the garden. There's lots of green, vibrant greens around the garden. Obi, my dog, is loving being out and about. However, what's really missing is some bursts of colour. So today I'm going to try and change that and utilise some pots. So I'm going to plant up some pots, try and utilise some of the colour that's around this time of year. So we've got some cyclamen that look good, got some violas that look great as well, and I think they'll just cheer me up, give me that little burst of colour in the garden. Low level, so it's not going to fill the garden with colour, but it's going to really make a difference. So I'm just going to fill a pot up as I go along, just experiment, try putting in some bursts of colour to cheer me up. So let's crack on. Now, going to use a reasonable sized container here, drilled in the bottom. What I like to do, I don't want to fill it all up with compost because it can start to become really heavy, so I'm actually going to get some decent drainage in the bottom, and I actually use chunks of polystyrene, lightweight, make sure that the hole on the bottom isn't completely blocked up, and will allow me to not have to fill a container such as this with tons and tons and tons of compost, which it really doesn't need for what I'm trying to do. So break up some cotton, break this up, polystyrene, nice and quick, just like that. And now what I'm going to do is start to fill my container up with compost. I'm using Compost King multi-purpose compost. I find it really good quality compost. I've already given this a bit of a mould around in my hand so that there's no big lumps in there, but I find with its slow release formula, it gives the plants a really good feed. So I like it, highly recommend it. So plenty of compost there in my container. And now what I'm going to start to do is put in a mixture of some plants. Now I've got some foliage plants as well. This is Senecio, call it what you want to. I hear a million different names for it. I really like that silver foliage, and I think it will complement well with the burst of colour I'm after. Now, I'm actually going to start with some colour. So I'm going to start using the cyclamen. They're going to be the sort of central point of what I'm after. Now, immediately I drop them into this pot, I can see that I probably need a bit more compost. So just going to chuck another handful or two in here. Spread that around. Obviously, once I start getting plants in there, this pot's going to get full quite quickly. So let's have a go. So got some beautiful cyclamen there. Love the foliage on here. I think they look great. Fairly vibrant colour, so I want these to be the centre point. Now, on other pots that I'm going to do, I'm probably going to try and get some more dramatic height into that. So for those sort of plants, I may well be using a bit of conifer like this to really give us a burst of colour. But today, for this first pot, for me, it's all about the flowers, low level colour. What I'm probably going to end up doing is actually putting some pots together, so I can afford some just to have a little ride of colour by the back door. If the weather gets worse, then I may not be spending hours and hours in the garden, so it's just about some colour that I can see. So I'm going to try and get 3 of these guys here into the centre of the pot. I'm creating a nice hole to plop them into, and then firming them down into that compost. Let's see if we can get one more of those in there. Yep, here's the last one here. Now I might have done these a little bit low, but I think we'll be fine. I don't think I need to raise them. Again, for me, it's all about seeing that burst of colour. So, yep, I like those already. They're giving me some nice vibrant colour within the garden, but I need something around them to really complement just that the vibrancy of those. So I've got some violas. I'm going to tuck a couple of these in there, and then to finish off, some Senecio, call it what you want, just to finish us off. So let me have a little look. Yep, I like that. Might be a bit bright and gaudy for some people, but this is for my own entertainment. So I'm really not bothered about the colour combinations that I use. I'm doing what pleases me. So again, popping that plant out of its pot, creating a nice little hole with my fingers, pushing that down in there. Beautiful. Another one of those, I reckon, down here. Same again, got another one here. Lovely. Nice little viola. Push that into there. That looks great. And then one more round here, and I think that'll be good. And it does need a little bit of foliage, so I'm just going to put one or two little Senecio plants in there, just to give us a bit of contrasting foliage interest. Let's do that now. Here we go, beautiful little plant pot. Take that out, lots of good healthy roots. Push that down into the compost, looking great. And let's put one more in just to finish it off over this side. Here we go. Now, there's lots of different types of Senecio. The one that I'm using today, it says on the pot here, is Silver Dust. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's probably going to get too big and overtake all the other plants in here, but for me, I'm just trying to get a little bit of colour at this time of year. That looks absolutely lovely. So I'm just going to finish this off now. A little bit more compost just to make sure all of the plants are bound in there nice and tight. Give that a water, and I think that's going to cheer me up. I'm going to put it nice and close to the house, and this wouldn't matter if I'm putting this into a garden of any size or even onto like a balcony. That's going to look great. So hope that gives you a bit of inspiration. Play around with colours. You've only got to suit and please yourself. I've probably got to please the wife, to be honest with you, but I've got to make sure this looks giving me that cheerful little grin first thing in the morning when I'm coming out for the next few weeks. Hope you enjoyed that. Many thanks.